there, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Nuts to Nuggets. My name is Oluwayomit and it's such a joy to come your way this beautiful Monday morning. How was your weekend? I trust you had a good time. Wow, it's another day and we are still on security. Now, security is key, security is huge. You cannot exhaust it. So we started with personal security, we went on to home security, and we learned a whole lot talking about home security. And one of the things we said from the very first one is that if you think security is expensive, try danger. And trust me, you don't want to try it. And last week, using two basic case studies, we learned a whole lot about home security. And one of the takeaways from that meeting is that you should always treat your domestic staff well. Another takeaway is don't display your wealth, whether it's at home or in the car or on social media. Please don't. Be security conscious. He emphasized that never fire and then rehire because that person will never trust you. You cannot get that person's loyalty again. There's so much to talk about. I want to implore you, you didn't hear it all. Go back to YouTube, Knocks to Nuggets, and listen. If you are yet to subscribe to that page, please do and turn on the notification button. And like I always say, please like, share, and pass your comments. So today I have again in the studio a security expert that has stood on several stages nationally and internationally. He's somebody that can tell you without fear of contradiction. He knows his onions. He has experience and is so open to allow us share in that wealth of experience. And today, I'm talking about kidnapping and assassination. Things you would not have talked about like 30, 40 years ago, but it's the world we're in today. Let's not be like the ostriches that will bury our heads. Let's face reality, discuss them, learn how to prevent. Yes, we would pray, but we will also work. Like my pastor would say, Bishop Michael Kongwo, never expect God to do it all. Any prayer that puts 100% responsibility on God is an irresponsible prayer. And we are not irresponsible. So we'll play our part as he does his. So receive with me again today our security expert for this discussion, Dixon Osaje. Thank you
I always
so much for coming again.
Clap.
Thank you so much.
How are you today, mother?
I'm doing very well. And you? Hope you had a good weekend.
Yes, I had a good weekend. Thank God.
I'm glad.
I love your analysis. Talking about depending on God 100%, or if you like what Big Daddy said, Pastor Bishop Michael Kungu, that is an irresponsibility, an act of irresponsibility.
True.
Well, thank you for having me. We've had two sessions. The first session was on home security, the personal security, while the second session was on home security. Today we'll be looking at kidnapping and assassination. During the first session, I told us the reason why the kidnap market took the boom, because when Evans was arrested, the Nigerian police did not manage the incident very properly, and the media gog with billionaire kidnapper, any media house you stream in, you say billionaire, they address Evans as billionaire kidnapper. And trust me, each time crime is not well managed, or in terms of, parading suspects, if that parade is not well managed, the government will end up enlisting more criminals at home. Who are the criminals the government will end up enlisting? The government will end up enlisting the jobless youth out there. The government will end up enlisting Nigerians whose source of income is not sufficient for their day-to-day keeping. The government will enlist people from other parts of the African continent who will migrate into Nigeria, believing that the security situation in Nigeria is porous and that they can come to Nigeria, succeed in whatever they are doing, and go scot-free. So this morning I will be looking at kidnapping and assassination. Sometimes some people will say, Dixon, what is kidnapping? Last week, 2 weeks ago, we talked about kidnapping, is the forceful or illegal seizure of a man by man. There are many terminologies you can use to define what kidnapping is, but the short form is the forceful and illegal seizure of a man by another man. Because definitely an animal cannot kidnap me. The only person that can kidnap a man is a man. And why did we arrive at a stage whereby man kidnap man for survival? The reason why man kidnap man for survival, because they believe that life is precious. I was speaking in a forum some few weeks ago, and I told them that these guys that paraded themselves as kidnappers, they failed to understand one thing. They fail to understand that criminality is a choice. Everyone has a tendency of being a criminal. I have the tendency of being a criminal. I'm a trained soldier. If I pick up the Kalashin today and machine gun, multi-purpose machine gun, I will become a nuisance to Lagos State. I will become a nuisance to the world. Even Evans and other people that are forming themselves as champions, they are not champions. It's just all about being normal, obeying the rules and regulations of the day, respecting government rules, and remembering where you're coming from, because sometimes where you come from, you want to protect that name. I told us some time ago that my father had about 9 are still surviving, and from the 9 of us, we are all, we are all necessary human beings, because anyone that wants to be an unnecessary human being is just within a twinkle of an eye. You understand? So for the fact that you're a kidnapper, that man is dangerous. He's not dangerous. He's not a champion. It's just that he's being stupid and not being law-abiding. So I haven't talked about what kidnapping is. Basically, we have various types of kidnapping. Kidnapping is not just kidnapping. We have what we call the high net worth kidnapping. We have what we call the express kidnapping. We have what we call the tiger kidnapping. We have what we call political kidnapping. Most especially in Nigeria, the #1 agents that are very good at political kidnapping is the government. Once you keep somebody beyond the days of his, beyond the days of his legal restriction or detention, you are a kidnapper. You're a political kidnapper. Like, for example, now you just arrest somebody, maybe you are a journalist or whatever, you're just anti-government, and the government picks you up and lock you up without following due procedures, without taking you to the court. Even if they take you to the court granted you bail, and they insisted, just like the time of Oshowore and Mr. Alhaji and others. So those are political kidnapping. So government is one of the major kidnappers in this country and other part of the world. Government are the major kidnappers, which is known as political kidnappers. Then also we have the express kidnappers. I am talking about these types of kidnapping so that we'll understand how to manage them in the case, God forbid, our enemy fall prey. We have what we call the express kidnappers. Express kidnappers, they don't waste time, Like maybe you take a night bus or these commercial buses in Lagos, popularly known as Danfo, and somebody pick you up and head you hostage between 1, 2, 3 hours. You use your ATM. You've heard about people use your ATM to go and start withdrawing money. Those guys, they are still what's it called, amateur kidnappers. So they are known as express. What they do is just to pick any little amount in your pocket and set you free. Then we also have the tiger kidnapping, or tiger kidnappers. We have high net worth kidnappers. Tiger kidnappers is somehow psychological in nature, because some people they will want to portray a fake kidnapping whereby they can pick A in order to capture B with A. Then we have a high net worth kidnapper. Evans, the kidnapper, the billionaire kidnapper. Evans, the billionaire kidnapper, is falls under the classes of high net worth kidnapping. In the sense that those ones, if Evans pick any person, it can't start with 10 million. Are you mad? starts from 50 million, 100 million, just by the seizure of another man. And that tells you that when I say if security is expensive, try danger. Nobody's going to try the danger of kidnapping compared to putting security applications at home. And it's very, very regrettable that all over the world, most especially in Nigeria, you see most of these kidnappers, they will go to our primary school, they will go to our secondary school, they will evacuate about 300 children, 250 children, 150 students. That is illegal transportation of our kids. And how does this happen without the government intervention? And that's why Nigeria now is the capital market for kidnapping, is the world capital market for kidnapping.
Wow.
If you look at the global terrorism index, it's very sad that Nigeria is sitting on number 3, 1, 2, 3, the third most dangerous terrorism nation in the world. Then when you go into the global peace index, Nigeria is the 15th least peaceful nation in the world. Are you with me? Which is to say that on a ranking of 147 countries, Nigeria is on 132 or 133 most peaceful country in the world. If you put it on a reverser, which says that Nigeria is among the first 15 most dangerous country in the world. Now, arriving at this stage seems that we are doing so well negatively, and that is the reality. So, kidnapping has been hitting around the clock all over the world, and like here in Nigeria, it has been hitting around the clock. And the reason why kidnapping has been flourishing, I think, is because we don't have an effective administration of criminal justice system in place. You know, there's what we call crime and punishment. When people commit crime and they are not punished, criminality or crime will continue to flourish. When people commit crime and they are not sent to jail, crime will continue to flourish. The reason why kidnapping has flourished to this stage was because the government did not respond to kidnapping with a high force and high-powered punishment. But right now, some states are passing it into law. Kidnapping, sometimes 20 years in prison, some are saying life in prison, whatever. But what I would suggest is that anything that has to do with kidnapping, it has to, the consequence must be severe. You know, when we have severity of consequence, crime will reduce. You understand? When somebody steals mangi and he go and spend 1 year in prison, the person will look at it, he will weigh the options. If I do this, this is what I will get. If I kidnap Mr. A, I will go to life in prison. Now, is it worth kidnapping Mr. A? What if it fails? I will go to life in prison. So when we have a severe punishment mechanism, the spate of kidnapping definitely would continue to reduce. And I've talked about high net worth kidnapping. This has to do with high profile personality. The big men, the billionaires, that was the field of Evans. And one other guy that was arrested in Kogi State or whatever. Then we also have the ritual kidnapping. So people kidnap for ritual. Why do they kidnap for ritual? They kidnap for ritual simply because they want to use their victim for sacrifice or whatever the case may be, and that is why our people, you must watch where you are going and where you are coming from. You talked about prayer right now. I agree with you, Reverend Yomi. Prayer is very, very important. What we are trying to talk about is not, we are not looking down on divine intervention. We are looking beyond divine intervention. When Bishop says that when you depend on God 100% with your prayer, I don't know what you said at that time. What did you say again about Bishop?
Yes, if you depend 100% on God to answer the prayer, then it's irresponsible prayer. There's always a God part and a man part.
Oh, God bless you. There's always a God part and a man part. That has to also do with security. You know, a God part is that He has given us protection, divine protection. And if we go contrary to that divine protection, we might fall prey to the line of the criminals. Now, if we want to depend on God 100%, That is stupid. On security, for me, that would be stupidity or an act of stupidity. What we need to do is that, yes, God is the supreme and our spiritual guide in our day-to-day activities, but we must not rule out our own efforts in mitigating the spirit of crime within the confines of our environment. We must pray, I agree, because the Bible says prayer is the key. But when you pray and you don't act, okay, for example, now I wake up this morning and I say, Father, Lord, thank you very much for waking me this morning. Baba, you are the most high God. Thank you. Throughout last week, the enemy did not come to me. Nobody. Forever and ever, you are my God. And I just go and sleep and I open my window in the night. I open my doors in the night. Even if I live in the best of estates that is well secured, if my access control mechanism or access control component is not well fortified, the criminal will strike at me. So here we are looking beyond divine protection, which simply means that we are looking at how to put a mechanism in place so that we don't fall prey to the enemy line. And it is quite regrettable that most people don't care about our security until an incident happened. You understand? Like when I was a director in my former place of company, yes, my former boss actually don't joke with security. But each time I send him a memo that, sir, we need to buy this metal detector, we need to buy this camera. No, it's very expensive. No. We are managing costs. Please, when it comes to security, do not manage costs. If you manage costs, then you are putting your life at risk and you are managing your life. And you know what it is when you manage your life? You are putting yourself at risk. So my chairman was saying, we are managing costs and everything. When an incident transpired, bam, my intercom will ring. Dixon, come upstairs. What happened? I said, okay, the camera I said we should buy, we would have been able to see the people that did this. Oh yeah, he will approve it. So I now know how to follow him. Yeah, and I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do next time. Next time, what do? I will, if I want to do anything, I will now send a memo. I will say, sir, it is very important we get this equipment. If we don't get it and an incident happens, about 20 to 25 staff might die. Your PA might be killed. You know, I will put some threatening words there that will push him up and say, this is reality, and he will apply for those, he will approve those equipment. So when it comes to security, let's not manage equipment. A lady was kidnapped in Festac. She is the only daughter of her father, and the father was a general in the army. Her name is Cynthia. I told us last time that Facebook is a threat market. She met a guy on Facebook. Any person you see on Facebook is not real until proven otherwise, except those you know. Even those you know, when you chat with them on Facebook, they are not real, because these days and time, a lot of people will hack your friends' informations or Facebook page, and they will start communicating with you as if they are the one that communicating. So the Facebook market is a threat. That was how Cynthia was killed in a hotel at Festac. What happened? The police could not unravel the killers until they fell back to the CCTV and they asked the hotel to provide the CCTV footage. And if that hotel perhaps did not have the CCTV footage, they would have shut down that hotel. Thank God for that CCTV. That was what exonerated the management of that hotel. And that was how they saw this guy that went in and, you know, killed this very innocent lady, the only daughter of the father.
Yeah,
what happened? What happened in a hotel in Lagos as well? The CEO of Fireman, you know, wanted to sell his land or whatever the case may be. You know, he went to the hotel to go and sign. Please, the hotel is not a safe place for you to go and execute business. If you must execute business in a hotel, let that execution of business be in a public place, either the lounge, the restaurant, or the reception. Those are the three authorized places. When your client says, "Oh, come upstairs, I'm in room so," do not go to that room to go and execute your business. Whenever you are in a hotel room, you are already enclosed with danger. Anything can happen, and we've seen it happen. I was a director in a hotel for about 10 years. I've seen what happened in hotel rooms. People are being killed in hotel, and some people will just disappear in a hotel. So that is the area of kidnapping. I've talked about the high network kidnapping. and
Yes.
also the political kidnapping falls in two parts. The other part is that some persons might kidnap you just to ask you to, drop your ambition, your political ambition. You understand? The political kidnapping is the two part. The other part is government detention or illegal detention, and also people asking you, your opponent asking you to drop your ambition, or they will get your mother or your father killed. So that is the area of kidnapping. Then assassination and kidnapping.
Before we move on, Dixon, before we move on, I need us to answer the question on the screen. What are the necessary precautions to observe to avoid kidnapping? Because it's real, it's here. How do you avoid kidnapping?
The first thing you need to do to avoid kidnapping is to carry out a risk assessment on yourself. You understand? Carry out a risk assessment on yourself. Now, one of the part of the area of carrying out a risk assessment on yourself is to first of all ask yourself some certain questions. Am I involved in some sore business deal? Do I defraud my business partner? Did I defraud my business partner? Am I a public figure? Am I a political opponent? You need to first of all ask yourself the dangers you are associated with. Because if you don't carry out a risk assessment, you will not be able to project mitigation factors. So are you involved in a sub business deal? Do you carry out a business with your clients or your partners, and you cheated them in that business area and they want to pay back? That is what we call threat assessment. For you to first of all respond to the last questionnaire, you need to first of all carry out a threat assessment. Threat assessment is a detailed process in which you are asking yourself the possibility of risk that you are exposed to. And after that, you carry out a vulnerability assessment of yourself. First of all, you carry out a threat assessment. Secondly, you carry out a vulnerability assessment. The vulnerability assessment is all about talking about your weakness, evaluating your weakness and evaluating your security policy, both at home and at office. Because the two places kidnappers succeed in kidnapping people, one might be at your office or your home. The other one might be at the express road. But remember, you spend most of your time at home and offices. So those two places are very, very high spot area for kidnappers. They might want to wait for you at the entrance of your gate. And that's why sometimes when you wake up and you see some people sitting around the perimeter, your perimeter fence, send them away. They don't have any business staying around. What if they are kidnappers? What if they are spy or carrying out surveillance against you? So answering the last question, how do you do that, is that you first of all carry out a stress assessment of yourself. Having carried out a stress assessment of yourself, then evaluate your vulnerability, your weakness. We'll talk about vulnerability, we're talking about your weakness. Because I told us that your vulnerability is the opportunity of the enemy. Are you with me? So each time you are vulnerable, the enemy has more opportunity. So now you need to check your vulnerability, and also you need to also look at your security, your home security and your office security. Ensure that all your security applications are in order. Make sure you have a CCTV camera as a boss, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you are a director, yes, you cannot monitor whoever is trying to pick you up. But remember, I told you that these kidnappers majorly go for high-profile personality. That is talking about the high net worth kidnapping. That's what I'm addressing now, because ordinary person cannot say he want to start putting CCTV in his house or no, whatever. But I'm addressing the area of the high-profile personality. So having carried out a threat assessment, you carry out a vulnerability assessment of yourself. Which area am I weak? What about my home? Do I have a very good perimeter fence? Now, Bola Ige was assassinated in his own residence when he came back from Abuja. He was killed in his own house in Ibadan. The Attorney General of the Federation of Nigeria was killed. What transpired? What went wrong? What went wrong was that he permitted his domestic his security to go and have their dinner or have their lunch, which is very, very wrong. Whenever you're having staffs working with you, even if they are security, it is advisable for you to feed your security guard so that there will be no opportunity for them, because the criminals out there are watching. Once they place you on surveillance, they will tell you that, hey, man, this mobile police that is protecting XYZ, they usually go for lunch around 1 to 2. They usually go for dinner around 4 to 5. You understand what I'm saying? So at that period of time, you want to go for lunch, they will strike. So don't allow the criminal element to dictate or assess your vulnerability. Are you with me? So that was the supreme price Bola Ige paid in the area of not taking care of yourself.
Dixon, before you go on, you said something, and I want to say no, that kidnapping now is about high net worth. It's no longer about high net worth, Dixon. So even the ordinary person, how does that ordinary person that cannot afford CCTV camera prevent?
You didn't get me.
People are not getting kidnapped, and their family are selling their cars, borrowing money.
No. You didn't get what I'm saying. I told you that the question that came on board is that I need to address it from the high net. You know, I've told you the types of kidnapping. Yes. I told you about export kidnapping. I told you about tiger kidnapping, political kidnapping, all this stuff. Now, this question that come on board, because I can't address all solutions cannot be profiled on all the types of kidnapping. So I am addressing the area of high network kidnapping. Now, the one you are talking about first under express kidnapping, you know, somebody going into Benin, and at the end of the day, they are all kidnapped on their wayside or whatever the case may be. Now, that is the area of wisdom. Each time you are traveling, you need to, first of all, you know, understand the routes and the risk implication to that route. For example, most people just wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to Benin. They don't even read their papers. They don't even know the dangers associated to the highway or whatever the case may be. But to tell you the honest truth, no road in Nigeria is safe again. All the roads in Nigeria are exposed to criminal activity. So that is when now you will not depend on God. That God, as I am going, protect. That is when you will depend on God, because what we are suffering from now is known as societal threats, because we have classes of threats. You know, we have the everyday threats, and when we arrive at societal threats, which simply means that every citizen is at risk. Societal threat is the maximum threat in the whole universe. So the stage of threat we are here in Nigeria is societal threat. And when you fall under societal threat, then it has to be a 50-50 thing. Because definitely some people, I've seen a lot of people traveling, and at the end of the day, they are captured or kidnapped on the road. So now when you are traveling, please ensure you don't put your, because most people put their phone on what's it called, on security. Right. Once you want to embark on your journey, the first thing you do, deactivate your password, your phone password, because it's going to really help you in the case of emergency. When you are back from your travel or you arrive at where you are going, you can activate your password. The reason why you need to deactivate your password is that, for instance, in the case of accident or whatever the case may be, nobody can access your phone because your phone has been locked. Nobody can do that. But you will say, no, I don't want them to see my text message, my bank message. Each time you want to embark on a journey, deactivate your SMS alerts, delete it. Because most of these guys will want to go through your phone. Then mind what you save in your phone. What these criminals do is that once they pick your phone, once you are kidnapped, like the express kidnappers or high net worth kidnapper, or maybe you guys are randomly kidnapped, they will start going through your phone. And at the time they go through your phone, and they now saw, maybe they are going through my phone, and they now saw, my contact, Reverend Yomi. Reverend Yomi, this guy, you know people, this big woman. They now saw Bishop XYZ. They now saw Senator this, Senator that. You are in trouble. So that is why I have advised people that you need to name how you save your contact, because your contact can sell you out as well. Because people believe that, well, since you have a senator in your what's it called, your phone, your contact list, well, at least the senator definitely will drop some things. So that is why sometimes, like me, I could name my what's it called, my contact. If I have a high profile person on my phone, maybe for example Senator Dino Melaye, my friend, I will not say it. I can just put SNT or SH something. You understand? Because all those codification is very, very important, because it's going to take you out from danger. But remember, there's what we call what's it called? Because at times you need, when you are being kidnapped or when you fall under the kidnap den, you need to comport yourself. But remember, I told us about run, hide, or fight back. But yet in the area, that's in the area of active shooting. But yet in the area of kidnapping, if you have the privilege to run, the opportunity to run, but don't put yourself in danger. Because these kidnappers, they don't want to gamble with themselves. So what they do is that once they get most of these guys, they will take them to their various base and start asking them questions and their parents or whatever the case may be. So since we are suffering from societal threats or societal risk, whenever you are traveling, you need to first of all, deactivate your SMS and do not dress to impress anybody. You can even dress up like a beggar, because sometimes most of these guys, they carry out personality check. They will address, look at you, so this one's okay money. But once they see you tying a cloth or whatever the case may be, even if they kidnap you, at the end of the day, they might be able to, reduce the price. So for me, I don't even encourage, driving alone or when you're traveling outside Lagos or to your state. Some people want to go with their cars or whatever. For sometimes I will advise my clients, your driver can go with the car, go on flights, which is the safest place. But if anything happens up there, it's just you just move up, go and see God. Guys like me, I don't like to fly. I don't like to.
Oh God. The Lord will protect us, He will keep us. Okay, I think your network is having some challenges. We can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, you're back.
Yeah, so that is that area. So now when you fall under the area of when you fall under the kidnaps den, like the express kidnapping, what you need to do is do not argue with those kidnappers. Do not fight with those kidnappers. Do not be obedient, and let them. I just remember the word I was trying to remember. There's what we call the Stockholm Syndrome area of negotiation. Maybe sometime next year, if we still have the privilege, if I still have time, we'll talk about negotiating with the negotiating with the criminals, kidnap negotiation, because most people don't know how to negotiate. You understand? So you know how to negotiate with this kidnapper. You know what to tell them. There's a word called Stockholm Syndrome. Some years ago in 1973 in Stockholm, Sweden. Yes, Stockholm, Sweden. I think Stockholm is in Sweden, right? These guys kidnapped about 170 something.
It's so sad we're talking about kidnap like this, and we are faced with it. It's unfortunate, is reality. It's what's happening today. We are not like ostriches just burying our head in the sand and saying nothing like that is happening. It's happening. We're praying that none of us will be victims of kidnap or assassination in the name of Jesus. However, we need to play our part. We need to ensure 24/7 that we at least do the things we need to do. What do we need to do? Don't display jewelry anyhow. Don't announce you're traveling on social media. Don't flaunt information about yourself. When you're traveling and you're traveling by road, play low key. These things don't hurt. These things don't kill. These are things that happen, and you just want to be sure that you are doing your part. Remember, we will do everything. We would pray as if it all depends on God, but we'll play our part as if it all depends on us. And the things we need to do, it's that we need to ensure that we don't display, we don't flaunt unnecessarily, and the Lord will help us. He really will help us. I'm sure He will soon join us. His network must have failed. He will soon join us. Reality. But one of the things I will hear him say is that you really cannot totally mitigate kidnap on the road. Particularly, you are in a bus, you are traveling, and everybody in the bus is kidnapped. There's really nothing much you can do. But if you can afford to go by air, please just go by air. Now, if you can avoid kidnap, you can avoid assassination, because I think they work together. Be careful. And something is said when he started talking about how to mitigate is be sure you do not get into sour business deals. And it's important. Don't try to cheat your neighbor. Don't try to cheat your friend. Don't try to cheat your business partner and think you can go scot-free. Be careful. And if you must travel by road, avoid high risk routes. Some routes are that's why he says, know what's going on around you, listen to the news, read the paper, have an idea, an assessment of where you are going and the path, and be careful. So welcome back, Dixon. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you. So like I was rightly saying, we must be very, very careful. Make sure you carry out an assessment of your route and where you're going to, or where you're coming from. It is very, very important. Then on the area of assassination, there's a difference between kidnapping and assassination. In an assassination, in talking about assassination, most times the reason why people were being assassinated in Nigeria was because of political or power tussle. Are you with me? But remember, the word assassination is not used for everybody. It's only used for high-profile people. Maybe somebody is selling bread on the road, and some people just come and shoot her. And you say she has been assassinated. No, she wasn't assassinated. She has been murdered. Assassination is a word used for high-profile personality. That is why it's good to make money, but not to die, to make money and live long. You understand? So that is the area of assassination. So when talking about assassination, you must check out your profiling. You know, profile yourself. Most people don't carry out self-profile, and you must listen to security advice. You know, you need to have what we call journey management department as a high-profile personality. If you don't have journey management department, then there's possibility that you fall prey in the line of the enemy. So having a journey management department is for them to analyze the route you're taking and give you feedback. Most of these big men, they don't want to be talked to. They don't want to listen. They don't want them. They just do what they like. You must submit yourself to security advice. Your security advisor must advise you on areas and what to do. And sometimes you need to also take security courses, security awareness courses. No matter who you are, no matter what you are, no matter where you've been or whatever the case may be, always take security awareness cases. But one thing I will also advise homeowners is this: if you're a high-profile personality, when you are trying to construct your home or when you get your home, make sure you develop a safe haven in your home. Every home must have a safe haven. But in the area where you are living that face me and face you, your safe haven is just to run away. In the area where you are living at maybe a flat or an apartment, you don't have a safe haven, it's not a problem. But once you are a high-profile personality, you must have a safe haven in your home. A safe haven is a place you run for safety. In the case that maybe perhaps criminals struck in, you'll be able to take cover from the criminal. You will be able to remain there until police assistance come. Now, in the area of Mr. What's it called? In the area of Mr. Somebody is asking me to conclude the area of Stockholm Syndrome. You start. This person likes story. Peter, you like story? Okay, Peter, let me continue your story. So when these people were kidnapped in Stockholm, they now began to the kidnapped victims now began to abuse the government in presence of those kidnappers. I know why you guys are doing this rubbish. The government are so stupid. They are insane. They didn't put in every security implications. There's no job, no employment everywhere. Why won't you guys go? They were showing sympathy with the kidnappers. And they were giving the kidnappers what they want and everything. Some of them would say, do you care for this? They were showing care. They were showing love to the kidnappers. And they were telling the kidnappers that the reason why they were being kidnapped was because the government does not obey or respect the social contracts. That was why they do what they do. So you must ensure you have a sweet mouth. God forbid you fall under the hands of kidnapping. You must not talk to them. Who are you? Why are you talking to me? Village, don't touch me. No. It's for you to be doing like this. Can you leave me alone? I don't like what you're doing. Don't touch me. No. Once you are kidnapped, please, if it's pidgin language, start speaking pidgin. That you learn in Oxford University, Birmingham, US, just drop those English language. Calm down to pidgin. Just calm down, relax. So the Stockholm Syndrome was a methodology in which the victims themselves set themselves free. Are you?
Yeah.
by the way they approach this kidnap. So whenever you are being kidnapped or you fall under the hands of kidnappers, what you say will finally save you. Empathize with them. Don't mind government, Jerry. All these people are doing. It's not your fault. If there is job, will you guys be doing this thing? You know, empathize with them. Empathize with them. You know, see reason why they are doing what they are doing. Do not argue with them. Do not fight them. Don't tell them what they are doing is wrong because they are a trigger away. Once they press the trigger, you are gone. And it's not the area where you start shouting, hey, Mugbe, Mama, oh, Baba, oh, leave your mother and your father alone. They also, you cannot even, maybe one of those kidnappers, their parents did not send them to school. And once they now hear you say, Mama, oh, Baba, oh, they'll just say, Mama, come on, get out from this place. So you have to be very careful what you say and what you tell this kidnapper. But remember, you must be able to, you know, associate with them, be friendly with them, respect anything they ask you to do or whatever the case may be. Are you with me? So the Stockholm Syndrome, what now transpired was that they were all set free by the kidnappers. They set them free, you know, because they were taken hostage for a number of time. You understand? So when you are traveling and you know that the route you're taking is not safe, go by air. But if you know that you want to risk it going by road, don't dress to sell out yourself. Just look. But remember, some of us, our skin alone, no matter how you dress, your skin alone will sell you out. Somebody will look like my auntie. Yes, you are so beautiful and shining and glowing. Hey, it's not your portion. It's not your portion. And somebody will just look at, this woman don't eat. So look at her skin. So most of these guys, they carry out self-assessment. They carry out an assessment on their victim. They check out their victim. They go to parties and they go to club. Don't go to a party and start spraying. Go and start spraying money. Or because you are hearing the bang. Bam! Dixie, Dixie. Dun, 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 dun. I remember when I went to a Yoruba party in Lagos, the transport money, my only transport money, I don't know what happened. I think then I just came back from Bakassi and whatever the case may be. I visited Lagos. I was staying in Diro. So went for a party in Mushin. And my brother went and told the MC, the musician that was singing, because you know they usually sing with people's name. And the next thing went and told him that that man is my brother. I just came from Bakasio. He's a gallant soldier. This is what they say. His name is Dixon. Dixon, almost soldier. Bang, bang, dun, 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 dun. They started hailing me. My head was swelling. I went there. I was praying, and I don't even have much. I sprayed my transportation fare. I came back. And I was thinking, I just said, these people, these Yoruba people, they don't finish me. I trekked home that day from Mushi, Olosha. I trekked to Onikpan here because I have gone to spray my transportation money because of what the society. So don't allow the society to dictate your giving capacity. Don't allow them to dictate your finances. If you go to a party and they are singing with your name, if you want to spray 100,000 or 200,000 or 50,000, put it in an envelope, just go and drop it down or give it to the singer and walk away. But at the time you start spraying, you have already given yourself out to this criminal.
Wow. Hell, it's so much. You know, unfortunately, when we were growing up, nobody thought about kidnap and assassination. It was not even in the equation at all. But today, it's what we're living with. And yes, we need to just learn these things. Honestly, like you said, and it's our prayer, none of us will be a part of it in the name of Jesus. They will not see us, they will not come near us, but then we also need to play our part. Don't just go out there displaying wealth unnecessarily. There's no need. There's no need to prove. There's no one to impress. Be you, do you unapologetically. Just enjoy yourself. Celebrate yourself. That the musician is not praising you should not get you upset. Life is not so hard. So, before, 45 minutes gone. Let me take your final words on security.
All right, my final word on security is that we must understand the threat we are in here in Nigeria. It's very, very regrettable that the state of security is on the rise. The state of kidnapping is on the rise. And what pains me most is that our children are no longer safe. Maybe sometime next year, we are going to talk about school security and child safety and child security, because children are the assets of their parents, you know. You cannot look for a child for 5, 10, 20 years or whatever the case may be. You have a child and your child is exposed to danger in the schools. So maybe sometime next year, if I'm chance to talk about school security, child security. Regrettably, in the north now, our children are being kidnapped in numbers. 300 will be kidnapped, 250 are kidnapped, 150 children are kidnapped. Sometimes I will look at British Airways. How many passengers can British Airways carry? But here you see they will just come and evacuate 300 people simply because our leaders have compromised. We are suffering from leadership brutality here in Nigeria. We are suffering from religious brutality. We are suffering from nepotism brutality. We are suffering from tribal brutality. We are suffering from ethnic brutality. Police brutality is not the only problem we're having in Nigeria. If police brutality is the only problem we're having in Nigeria, Nigeria will be a better place and a great place to be. Oh yes, I'm not supporting police brutality. It must be eliminated and eradicated. But we need to look beyond police brutality, unemployment brutality. If the youth are jobless, I will tell you the reality. They will fall into the enemy line, you understand? And so that is why sometimes within your environment, within your estate, look out for those people that are jobless and try to know what the reason is. Because any person hovering around your environment that is jobless is a potential threat to your security and a potential threat to the government. So our government must start looking at protecting the citizens of this great nation. Because it's quite regrettable that any time you open the papers, like me, I'm even tired. There's no day, I'm not exaggerating, there's no day I sweep my phone, I pick my phone, and there's no report of death. People are dying every day in Nigeria. Nigeria has been invaded. 3 years ago, I warned on national television that the visa regime that was approved by the government of Nigeria will put us at risk, and Nigeria will be invaded. And as I'm talking to you, Nigeria has been invaded. I know what's happening. Even Lagos is no longer safe. If anything happens now, you'll be surprised the way the fire will spring up, because you see most of these people from Niger, Mali, they are all coming to Lagos. Some of them stays in a home, and I wonder what the Lagos state government are doing. And also, we must play our own part in security. You know, sometimes people say it's government, government, government. Oh yes, government takes the blame, but as individuals, what do we do about parental upbringing? Because every child or any person that constitutes threat to the society came from home. Which home?
Ah.
Plays a role of absenteeism in taking care of their child. So for me, I pray that every one of us remain safe, remain healthy, remain sound, watch your back where you are going, ensure you don't have a sore business deal, ensure you don't have a political opponent that is planning to eliminate you, carry out a risk assessment on yourself and vulnerability analysis on yourself. Don't show off yourself in a party, be very mindful of security, but always remember to invest in your security. Each time you invest in your security, you are investing in your safety, and there's possibility that you will not fall prey to the enemy line. Thank you very much for having me, madam.
Wow.
I appreciate you. I'm very grateful.
Thank you so much. Just before you go, Binta has a song for you. Dixon, Dixon, Moshoja, gang, 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 so we can start dancing and spraying. Thank you for the 3 weeks, indeed.
Was she the one that said her father was 63 NA? I saw a message. She said, okay, I think it's Ramatu. One of them says the father
yes.
was also 63 NA. My father was also 63 NA. They were the brave soldiers then, you know. Yeah. Right now, it's important what's happening to our military.
The Lord will help us. Thank you so much. It's been 3 fantastic weeks with you. Honestly, we don't take it for granted. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for agreeing to share with us so basically the things we need to know. We truly appreciate you. God bless you. God keep you. See you some other time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for all you do. I appreciate you for your sacrifice. And Knox to Nugget will continue to fly, fly, and fly higher.
Thank you. God bless you. Wow. 3 weeks on security. So much to stay. There's so much more we can talk about on security, school security, when you go out to parties. I mean, so much to talk about, but we'll pause here on security. I appeal to you, please watch those videos again. You didn't hear it all. Share it with your family, share it with your friends. Let people know what to do. We pray that the Lord will truly, truly keep us safe in him. Thank you very much, everyone that's on this call. Next week, Monday, you're going to be there with me. as look at nuggets of life. I'm sure we're going to get more insight into very basic nuggets to excelling in life. I'm sure you'll be blessed. I'm sure you will have fun. I'm sure you'll be again educated next week Monday. So like I always say, please share the word. Let people know that there is something called Knocks to Nuggets out there. Tell somebody about it. And like I will always say, if you can think it, you can do it, you can be it. It always all starts with your mind. And until next week Monday, when I come your way, never forget, together we win. Love you. Have a wonderful day.